Mixties presents the Popcast.
Hey, my name is Brian, and this is Shane, and this is the Popcast, and today we're talking about last night's premiere episode of America's Got Talent Season 12 and all the craziness that ensues.
Hashtag NBC AGT.
I think it was hashtag AGT premiere.
I don't know. The shirts that they were wearing on the show, like the stagehands, was like hashtag NBC AGT. So.
Of course. That's the hashtag they're going to keep going throughout every season, I guess.
NBC's like, I want to make sure we're on the AGT. It's NBC.
We need to make sure that we are hip with all the youngins on the Twitters.
Yeah. Nobody cares about what show that's on. They're not going, oh, it's on NBC. That's great.
Yeah. Can I start off the show with a proclamation?
I would love to hear your proclamation. We're going to talk about AGT Season 12, right?
We're talking about AGT Season 12. Beware, if you have not seen last night's episode, this is going to contain spoilers, I guess, if there is spoilers.
I don't know if it's considered spoilers once it's already aired, but maybe for the DVR world.
Here's the first spoiler. Tyra Banks sucks.
Oh. I don't think that's a spoiler, bro. I'm pretty sure everybody knew that she was going to be awful.
Oh, she is so awful.
Yeah,
bro, I never thought I would say this in my entire life.
Really?
I miss Nick Cannon.
Oh, I loved Nick Cannon, bro.
I know. I did not appreciate him when he was there, and now I feel bad.
Yeah, that's the problem. Is people didn't realize how great he was. I mean, a lot of people did. Nick Cannon was really a special part of the show, in my opinion. He was the one. He was. You know what was up with Nick Cannon was he was genuinely enjoying what he was doing. Last night, Tyra was forcing it.
Oh,
it's not. You know,
so fake.
It goes back to her. I didn't really have an opinion on Tyra Banks, the supermodel. Okay, cool. But the Tyra Banks, the talk show host, irritated me to no end. And Tyra Banks, the host of America's Got Talent, I never watched Next Model or whatever the heck she did. But a host of America's Got Talent just doesn't fit, bro. It's weird. It's odd and it's not natural at all. I hated it from the second it started.
Yeah, same here. I hated Tyra Banks, and every time the camera would switch to her and like the back, making those stupid faces, dude, I got more and more irritable. Like, I do not care about Tyra Banks' reaction to this talent.
Right.
I don't care about Tyra Banks. I don't care about any of this right now. That's what it got to. It was like, I don't care about her reaction. I don't care about her. I don't care about AGT. And I'm like, no, I do. I care about this.
Well, they were doing exactly what they did with Nick. So Nick, they always showed his reaction to what happened, and because he has great facial expressions.
But we cared about Nick's reactions.
We did, but yeah, and so the first hour of the show, not even hour, first 30 to 45 minutes of the show was like the Tyra Banks show. It's like they were, I don't know, it was like it was nonstop Tyra to me. And then all of a sudden, the last half of the show, she kind of disappeared.
Yeah,
which was good.
Yeah, thank God, because that was, I couldn't take any more of Tyra Banks. And
can we give some background? Like, I want people to understand that we're not coming into this show as being like some people who just kind of vaguely understand AGT or have only seen it a few times. I've been watching America's Got Talent since season 1.
Yep, same.
Every year, faithfully. I have actually been, me and my wife went to the live show in Vegas every year for like 4 years in a row, seasons 2 through 6. And we met a lot of the contestants that were on the show, went to the show, really fantastic time. We have been vested into this program. So the fact that we're going to be doing a recap show is a big deal for us.
Yeah.
And, you talk about it every year.
My wife and I have been watching since season 1. It's something we do every year,
Yeah.
We're doing it with the kids now. We love AGT.
Fantastic.
So yeah, we're AGT veterans, man.
Yes.
But I gotta say, the Nick Cannon move was a major mistake. I think removing him.
Well, you know what happened, right?
No,
Should we
I
talk
don't.
about why?
No, yeah.
Okay, so Nick Cannon was set to come back for season 12. Everything was hunky-dory, no problem. But Nick, during the off-season, went on the road. He's a comedian.
Right.
So, he went on the road to do his show. Well, Nick Cannon is kind of seen as kind of a wholesome kind of guy. You wouldn't think of him as being an edgy performer. Well, his new
comedian.
Yeah, his new comedy act is very edgy, very politically geared, very kind of racially oriented, and there was jokes in there that were questionable based on what people know of Nick Cannon and his wholesome character. It was shocking, I would guess to say. And so producers at NBC of America's Got Talent, people involved with the show, I guess commented that they were surprised and disappointed in Nick's content, some of his material in his show. And Nick Cannon went on like this crazy rant about how, he's a grown man or something, and he's gonna do what he needs to do for his career, and and
what's his content
blah, blah, blah.
like? You said it was politically motivated. Was it liberal or conservative?
It's liberal, and
NBC
but it's
liberal. So what's the problem?
Right, but it was racially motivated too. I think there was a lot of there was some BLM stuff in there and some different things, which, Nick Cannon, he's entitled to his own opinion, and I don't understand. I think the part for me is, I think he got offended that, he went outside of his box. He hadn't really done comedy like this, at least that we were aware of, and maybe he was taking a shot, and he just took great offense to it. Nobody at NBC was like, "Hey, Nick Cannon can't come back and host the show." What they were saying was, "Wow, that content was questionable, and we didn't really like it." And so Nick Cannon basically gave him the finger and said, "Great, I'm not coming back next year." So, how you like that?
I gotta say, as much as I liked Nick Cannon as the host, that was stupid as hell, Nick.
You know what, though? After last night, they might be calling him at the end of the season saying, "All right, Nick, look, we're sorry about what happened. Why don't you come back to the show?" Because Tyra was so bad.
Yeah, but that's never happened. They would rather replace her with someone new. They're not going to kowtow to Nick. I'm
sad. I wish Nick would come back. I don't know what he's going to do. I mean, he's a talented guy, but
I loved him on AGT. Even if I don't like his other stuff.
But he was great in Drumline. Fantastic, little acting when he was younger. I mean,
yeah,
great.
He was. Yeah, I gotta say though, giving up this gig because of your feeling offense was the stupidest thing ever. This is like,
I don't know why. I was shocked.
Work half a year, you make millions of dollars. Like, talk about a gig. You could have.
I mean, he was hitting. Yeah, no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
You could have been the next Regis Philbin, or I don't know.
Well, that's what I was about to say. Ryan Seacrest came from American Idol.
Right.
I mean, that's where he really got his start. And look at him. He's like, he's the next. He's bigger than that.
Yeah. So
Nick Cannon was heading in that direction. I mean, I really feel like he was. So we'll see what happens.
Awesome. Well, okay. So that's the first part. Let's talk about
where the change came.
Let's talk about some of the starting acts, shall we?
Yeah.
So the comedian, his name was.
Wait. Sorry, before you do that, you got to do the first act of the show.
Oh, the chicken playing the piano. You're right. I was gonna gloss over this because it got through the next round, I guess.
Well, it's not going to happen. They're going to get to Vegas and they're going to split him in half and say, "Sorry, guys, you don't get to be here." It's a courtesy you've made it through. Not that you're not. The chicken can play one song. It's not like it's going to come back and play. What do you play? American the Beauty. He's not going to come back and do the Star Spangled Banner next episode. He just can't. He knows one song.
Yeah, he knows one song. But it's cool.
Which is cool for a chicken.
It was cool to watch a chicken. I don't know how a chicken knows how to play a song. That's incredible.
That was pretty incredible.
Chickens have
that's incredible.
They have like the brain the size of like a sunflower seed. Like, I didn't know there was enough space in those brains to memorize that song. So,
super intelligent chicken. That one must be like the Albert Einstein of its species.
Yeah. Well, that was cool. again, I don't know if it should have gone through, but hey, cool. The guy, the comedian, Preacher, and I forgot his last name.
Preacher, you remember that Preacher name though, right?
Right, that's a very unique name.
Right, because it's like, okay, yeah, you're gonna remember that. And it's funny because I got to tell you, Simon Cowell is very good at his job.
Yeah,
he is. He is very good at his job, and he recognizes things. And as soon as the guy said his name was Preacher, he's like, "Good name." He just picks up on things that he knows are gonna float with. People are gonna remember.
He also knew that the guy had another joke in him. I want to talk about that real quick because the guy did a good set, and then he finished, and he was being a smart comedian. You don't want to overstay your welcome, right? So you want to do your set, get them laughing, and then get on your way. Well, Simon Cowell was like, "Hey, let's get one more joke," because I was short, right?
Because he was good enough to pass. I mean, realistically,
right?
I thought what that he did, he's like, okay, I'm like, he's gonna make it.
Right. Now, I have two problems. Number one, I don't know. Is it sort of a good move for him to stop right there and leave him wanting more? But the joke he had about his grandma and driving and not wanting to die, that fit perfectly as a perfect segue from his other joke. So,
well, they're only allowed 90 seconds.
Oh, so he did his 90 seconds and he stopped?
He probably pre-planned what joke he was going to tell, how far he was going to go. And he's like, well, I can't really go into the grandma joke because it's going to go over my time, so I better stop it here. But to Simon and the judges, they were like, that felt a little short. Maybe he came up 15 seconds short than he should have. So I feel like that's why he asked for more. But I think he had a good instinct, right? Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah, he had a great instinct. I have a lot of respect for Simon Cowell. I saw a lot. I saw it last season. I'm already seeing it this season. He's probably one of the only competent judges on AG,
okay,
left on AGT.
Talk about that.
Yeah, I would love to, because every season I lose more and more respect for Howie Mandel.
Really?
Yeah, every single season, every episode, I lose a little more respect for that guy. He's just a silly guy with a silly look and a bald head that just doesn't really see an eye for talent. Maybe he's a funny comedian guy, whatever, but a talent judge he is not, and he is literally a judge, one of the longest running judges on America's Got Talent. So,
well, I hear what you're saying. And Howie Mandel was a famous comedian a long time ago. So he was known for being silly. That was kind of his comedy.
And I'm okay with that, and that's fine. But I don't know if he has the eye for picking out talent, because his comments...
No, but neither does Heidi.
Neither does Heidi.
And honestly, neither does Mel.
No, Mel B is It came from a band that was basically a one song band that happened to do a few more songs that were good enough to make air.
But neither did David Hasselhoff. Arguably the only people who could actually probably pull it off was Sharon Osbourne. Piers Morgan seemed to have a pretty good eye for talent. Howard Stern, and of course Simon Cowell. But you got to have a little bit of the lightness with it. I think Howie is the antithesis of, he was the antithesis of Howard, but he gives that balance you need off of Simon.
I completely agree. And when Howard was there, it was more evident. It wasn't evident in last night's show.
Right. That's true. It is a little tougher because Simon is it's a kinder, gentler Simon Cowell.
Right.
These days.
And I gotta say, the magician that did the sand escape trick, that I instantly knew how he did it. That when he telegraphed every one of his moves, I sat there and I was like, "There's the turn, there's the prestige." I broke down that entire trick while it was happening to my wife, and Howie Mandel was up there like, "Oh my God, how did he do it?" You're like, it's so forced. Well, that was not a genuine reaction, and you can tell it wasn't a genuine reaction.
Well, and that's true, but also the whole thing was a setup. the guy's wife was faking being scared on stage. The whole thing was a setup. Here's the other thing. Before Howie Mandel became a judge on the show, I think season 1 or season 2, they did a big run on magicians who did this same act, who would end up being in their show as a part of where you expected them to be. They were someplace else, up on the balcony, or so if you've been a fan of the show for a long time, this magic act was not a surprise at all.
It was obvious. Like, okay, that sand in the glass has a 1-inch pane. You're saying 1 inch is coming down, right? He's behind the sand. He comes out. His guy that goes around the thing, he just takes his place, comes back, and boom, there's the reveal, right? You're like,
but people who are not familiar with that magic act, who haven't seen that type of stuff before, it might have been interesting to them. I mean, we've been around the block a few times.
Maybe, so except for the guy that came out, bro. The guy that came out that he took his place, they had different shaped heads. They were different heights. They had that guy was bald. He had like a shaved head, while the magician didn't. Like, it was my wife, who's not like, doesn't even pick up on this kind of stuff or cares. She was like, "That's not the same dude." Like, immediately,
Well, I think that there's a place that some people would have been pretty. I mean, if you know a lot about magic, then that's not going to be a great act. Great act. I think they were way too. You're right. There was too much. I'm amazed over that, and I think when they go back and watch the video, they're going to be less amazed.
Yeah.
But
like,
they're.
Oh my God! How did he do it? You're like, what?
The judges are characters too. They're on a TV show, and they're trying to. They need ratings. So the thing that drives me the craziest about AGT is how long it takes them to say yes to an obviously yes act, that we have to go through every person's you got my vote, obviously I liked it better back when they used to go and we all say you're through, right? I and they don't do that really anymore.
And my wife was like, can you just fast forward, please?
Yeah. A lot of people are like that.
The thing is, like, I care less about Mel B's opinion of a magic act than maybe some singer or something. But she goes in this long thing. When you were up there, I saw the passion in your voice. Like, oh God! All right, moving on.
I've always had that problem though with judges. Even if it's American Idol, there's times when you're like, okay, I'm tired of. One of my criticisms is they don't show enough bad acts anymore.
Yeah,
I don't understand why they don't show us. It used to be interesting to try to figure out, okay, are they going to be good or are they going to be bad?
Yeah. Even the Manometric guy, he was a bad act. Like, they didn't get through.
But almost got through.
But I got to say, it was super clever of him to wait for the X's and then come out with the reveal. And I was like, that's clever. That's funny. I was laughing.
He got Simon to change his vote. Simon and Howie.
I don't know. And then the Mel B and Heidi were like, no, thank you. I'm like,
that's because it wasn't a child act or an animal act or a dance act.
Right. It wasn't child. So. Yeah, exactly. And he deserved to go through. He was definitely better than the stupid chicken. That's for sure.
The chicken was amazing, but he was.
It's not $1 million act, that's for sure. Come on.
No, he was funny. The guy was funny. I mean, I don't know what else he has, but he was entertaining.
And Heidi said, "Oh, this doesn't seem like $1 million act to me." I'm like, "Oh yeah, but the one song chicken does, really? Come on."
One song chicken, yeah.
On the magician thing, they really should have not put that guy. Will Tsai was the magician before that magician. Both Asian guys, right? Or I think Asian.
Wow. Are we going to talk about that one? Because I got to tell you.
We got to talk about it. We already talked about this horrible magic act, and this guy was like, oh.
Well, he had a great story. He had a good story. When you match a good story with a good act, that's going to be. He's going to go He's going to go far in the show.
He can win this thing. I don't have any clue.
I don't know where you go from here.
I had to rewind it and play it like 4 times.
Oh, you cheater.
I couldn't help it. I had to.
No, you should never rewind. I mean, it's cool if you rewind it and still couldn't figure it out, but I refuse to rewind anything.
Dude, listen,
I just don't want to be disappointed.
I couldn't figure it out. I tried. With all my years watching this show, Magic Acts, I have no idea how I did that. I gotta say, maybe it's something to do with the table. I don't know.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. So, it's amazing, first off, and it's totally as close to you can get as magic as possible. But the frame, the frame sitting around it has a lot to do with it. I think, obviously, there's some sort. I believe that there's some sort of a switch that goes off. So you're looking at an illusion at some points when his hands are above it, and then he's able to click some switch with his knee that makes the illusion go away so he can interact with the coins. I think it's something to do with light, and when he goes to interact, he's able to, it changes. But it was awesome. I mean, to wave his hand and have the coins turn into petals, flower petals.
Really quite good.
I ain't never seen that before.
Never seen that before, man. That was so
Very
unique. Cool. And it was the closest thing to magic I've ever seen. We were blown away.
I was super pleased with that close magic. Close magic is so hard to do.
Yes.
And I'm like, the sleight of hand when he's getting the coins to move, I'm like, wait a sec. He's not doing the pinch technique with his fingers. Right. He's not. I'm watching it, and so that's why it's definitely illusory. There's an illusion to it somehow, and whatever sleight of hand work he's doing, there's more to it than what we saw.
It's not pure sleight of hand. No way. Yeah.
No, there's some tech there too.
Yeah.
But it's gonna be interesting to see what he comes up with next. I love his story. He was homeless for a while. His parents didn't speak English, had a hard time adjusting to being in the States.
Yep.
Very interesting. I'm totally stoked to see.
Really liked it. So can we talk about? Let's go like here's an act that I didn't like. The brother sister, borderline inappropriate salsa dancers. That sat there crying and holding each other. I'm sitting there cringing so hard, man. Like the hair on the back of my neck is standing up. I'm in super cringe town. And it's just mad dramatic. It's so dramatic. And Heidi is like, getting them through. And again, that's $1 million act, but Man of Mystery isn't. I'm confused there.
That's Heidi for you. She loves the dance acts. I mean, people lean, just like Howie. Oh. He's nice. He's good to the comedians. Heidi is good to the dancers, and just like Mel is usually pretty good to the singers, but Mel's actually pretty honest about the singers.
She's honest most of the time. Yeah, I gotta say that act was so hard to watch. They should not have said that they were brother and sister because it just ruined it for me. The dancing was
I can see where your mind goes.
The dancing was great, but the song selection was like just garbage. Like it was trash. It was like some kind of weird, like hardcore metal version of Salsa. I don't know.
Well, just to be devil's advocate, though.
Sure.
Okay. How many darn salsa songs, traditional salsa music songs, have we seen on AGT that I'm just so tired of seeing?
Yeah.
Of all the salsa pair that I've been forced to watch on AGT, it's just very not entertaining. There's a whole dance show out there that people can go on, I feel like. Yeah. But that's fine. America's Got Talent. But
salsa is not a great dance for America's Got Talent. And it's even more bad when it's like two family members like holding each other romantically. It's like, it's weird.
It is a little weird, yeah. But their story was compelling, and obviously they're moved. I mean, it's hard to be emotional.
Dancing saved my life, man. Like, oh my god. Oh my god. It was too much.
Yeah. Man. Well, I didn't feel exactly the same way you felt about it. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't dislike it. I thought that him being able to take his leg over her head multiple times was kind of, I'm like, wow, you don't want to mess that up because that's going to hurt.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they went back to it. So they started that way, then went back to it. And I'm like, I'm already tired of it. So next time you come around, they made it through. They're going to show them again. If you show those same moves, I'm not going to want you to get through. So
yeah. I'm with it. Let's talk about fake Trump.
Oh,
that was funny.
The dancing Trump, right?
Yeah.
The singing Trump.
Yeah. I don't understand one thing though. Like, before the guy even opened his mouth to start his act, Mel B X'd him. Like,
well, that politically motivated. You know, people are a sign of the times. I mean, did you see?
Man.
Dude, did you see that Kathy?
Kathy Gifford ISIS video.
Kathy, yeah, did you see? No, did you see her? Yeah, holding up a bloody Trump head.
Yeah, that's
people have.
Kathy Gifford. She's joined ISIS. Everybody. She's
tell you, no matter how you
joined ISIS.
No matter how you feel about Donald Trump, you know, can you at least respect the president of the United States and respect your country?
It's super inappropriate to hold up his severed head. Like, what the hell?
You know, and so Mel, who I like Mel, but she's not from America, so she's British.
She instantly axed him before
that was
said a thing. And Heidi, who I didn't know had the smarts to say this, she said, whether you have not liked Trump or not, it's not about that. It's about the talent.
Yeah, it's not about Trump. The act, you knew the whole audience booed him. Most of the audience.
That was the joke, right? Yeah.
You know, so that, and he knew it going into it. And right now it's a very popular thing to not like him. So the guy went with it, and I got to give him a lot of credit.
It was funny.
He did a great impersonation.
Yeah.
My daughter sitting next to me, she's like, Trump's on America's Got Talent.
My daughter
he
too.
fooled her.
My daughter thought.
Yeah, but your daughter's like,
why is
5?
That's true. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
You know, my kids were like,
Trump on
for
America?
a second. Yeah, for a second, like you almost like could, you know. But when he broke down into dance and song, I didn't see that coming. I thought he was just going to be like a comedian. And
I thought so too. I like the dance and song thing. It was good.
I think it's fantastic. Bring him back. I want to see more. I don't know what the heck he's going to do next.
I hope that he does a different impression each time. If it's just singing Trump each time, then I'm not interested.
Right. That won't be as cool. But if he comes back as somebody else and he's able to make it believable. I love that he had a security with him.
Yeah.
You know, the way they set it up, and he had a Secret Service.
That was really cool. It was funny, man. It was funny.
There's a good chance that the winner of the show was on last night.
Yeah, I think.
Oh,
really? Are you saying Will Tsai? That's what I think it is.
No, I don't think so. I think as much as I love magicians and I love comedians, the act that generally wins more than any other act is usually a singing act. More singers have won America's Got Talent than any other type of act.
Can we save him for last? Because I know who you're talking about.
It's not a him. It's a her.
Are you talking about? Are you talking about one of the first acts?
I'm talking about Yoli Mayer, the girl who came out with the kind of the shaved head a little bit.
Oh, she was horrible. She
came out.
Are you kidding me?
I don't think so. No, she sounded great,
bro.
She sounded just like she sounded very close to Adele, bro.
She sounded like a lounge singer that lost her directions and ended up on AGT.
Mark my words. Mark my words. By the end of the show, she will be standing on the final stage.
Okay, so there it is, right there. Because he's saying she's going to end up on this final stage. I'm saying she'll be up there. She'll be gone by the next cut.
Okay, so let's see what happens.
I felt nothing for her.
Okay,
good singer, but there's a lot of good singers. So
let's put a bet on it.
Okay,
let's see. So we'll think about it, and before we come back for next show, because we're not going to see her, not even have an opportunity to see her for several episodes. So let's come back next week and have we'll talk about what it is we're going to bet.
Yes.
Something on the podcast that one or the other is going to either have to do or maybe dress like.
So what's the bet, though? You're saying she makes it to the final stage, and I'm saying she's gone in the next round?
Yours is an easy one. So, or not necessarily. So if she's gone, if she doesn't make the next cut, you lose. Okay? If she doesn't make it to the finals, I lose. So there's a chance that we both could lose.
Right. Okay. If we both lose, the bet is moot. Is that the point?
Yeah. If we both lose, how about this? If we both lose, we both have to do something. Right?
All right.
Yeah. There you go. We'll figure it out.
Let's talk about Robot Kid.
All right.
Talented, but boring, in my opinion.
Okay. So, Robot Kid, instantly charismatic looking child.
Yes.
So he has the face to be in Hollywood. For sure.
He's a star.
He's a star. You can tell just by looking at him. He already has the grasp on. He should go into acting probably more than anything.
Yeah.
He has his face. Style of dance,
has the enthusiasm. Yeah.
There's a chance it's not going to. He's a one-trick pony.
Yeah.
A very talented one-trick. The song was very interesting and very, I think, current to what trends today in kids. Mm. My kids, I think, liked it very much.
My wife is like, "Oh, great, another cutter." She literally said, "Oh, great, another cutter."
Oh man, I think that's kind of harsh.
That's harsh, but like a lot of the AGT talent is this like overwhelming. These talented people that are like overwhelmingly sad, you know.
So you want to talk about sad? You want to talk about Puddles the Clown?
But Puddles was sad on purpose. It was great. I liked Puddles, man.
Did you?
But first of all, the song choice was like perfect. The whole sad thing was at first it was like, this is dumb, but then it was like, okay, I get it. It's the guy doesn't want to talk. He's doing that whole the tape face routine from last season.
Yeah, exactly. I like that he can only sing and can't talk. So
right.
That's cool.
That's cool. I liked his song. It's a good song.
I think he's a great looking. I don't like clowns a whole lot.
Me either.
You know, I'm just kind of freaked out by him. But his body proportions and the way his outfit was done was really a perfect act. Yep. I think that he looked like a cartoon or something. I don't know. It was weird. I'm looking at him, I'm like, wow, he's got long arms. He's tall. He looks freakish. He's singing really well. You know, got a good voice. So it'll be interesting to see him come back. Yeah.
I'm gonna like that. I liked him a lot. I don't know if he's $1 Million Act, but he was fun.
He might be. There was an act several years ago. A guy who would dress up as different characters and do opera,
mm-hmm.
and he wore a mask always. He ended up doing really well.
I gotta say, I didn't think Tape Face last year was the first 5 minutes. I'm like, this is dumb, and then he blows me away, and I'm laughing.
Dude, as soon as he started doing this, I was like, I love it.
Yeah,
I love it.
Couldn't stop. I wanted more and more Tape Face.
I want them to do more stuff together.
Yeah,
you know,
I had
whatever
Google
it is,
Tape Face, and I found nothing. I mean, it was good.
It was really good.
So I think this guy can go on the same way. The last act that mattered.
Okay.
Go ahead. Hey, no, if you want.
I want you to talk about it because I'm not sure whether you're going to talk about the one I'm thinking of.
The ventriloquist girl.
Yes, that's the one I was thinking of.
Okay. Number one, I do not understand the concept of wasting the golden buzzer on that act. It was so scripted, bro. It was so scripted. That was the most scripted thing I've ever seen on AGT. Was when it was like someone in Mel B's earpiece was like, "This is a golden buzzer act. Do it. Do the golden buzzer." She's like, "Oh, golden buzzer!" And you're like,
I mean, man, I don't know.
She's already getting through, man.
She is, and it was supposed to be. But you know, Mel, to her credit, I mean, it would be different if Mel was like, "Yeah, it was okay. I thought you were good. Golden buzzer, right?" But Mel was doing this whole thing where she was like, "It was so great. It was the greatest thing ever. I loved it. I loved it. You know what?" And then, you know, so to me, it felt like Mel was just living up in the moment. She's like, "I'm going to use my golden buzzer." I felt like, I don't know.
It felt scripted
obviously,
to me.
It's the last act, so you know your time's running out on the show, and you're like, well, you know, it's going to be one of the best acts of the night. So
I mean,
you know, it's probably going to get a golden buzzer.
He's a great singer, limited ventriloquism, but
can I ask you a question?
What's up?
How do you sing like this? And how do you make it sound like you're not?
I don't know how you sing like that. I've never seen that before.
I tried so many times.
I'm happy how talented her voice is. It's really cool.
Right?
But
She's
I feel
12,
like we've seen a lot of ventriloquism in AGT, and I'm just like, okay, that's cool. You know?
Well, do you know what the number one show in Vegas is?
Probably ventriloquism.
It's Terry Fader. Number one show in Vegas. And
so didn't Terry Fader
win?
A lot
of people who do it.
AGT?
Yeah, he was he won. He was the season 2 winner.
Yeah, and cool. All right.
So I mean, I'm okay with having a little more ventriloquism.
Sure.
You know, I don't know if they're going to let a 12-year-old win. That's not typical for them.
Right, that's another thing too. How can a kid win? Like, what is your kid gonna do Vegas acts for the next 10 years? Like,
well, and also traditionally, winners haven't. There's not 12 years of winners in Vegas either. So I've noticed that just because it doesn't always happen.
Right.
Not every act gets a show in Vegas, or they don't stay for more than a few weeks or so. I don't know.
Some acts that don't win end up with a show in Vegas, like the Jabberwockies.
The Jabberwocky. Well, the Jabberwockies weren't they season 1 winners?
Were they?
Yeah, they were the season 1 winners.
Oh, that's probably. Then
so
maybe
that's why they're still there. Terry Fader season 2 winners, but you're right. There is a band from season 3 or 4 called Recycled Percussion that is still in Vegas, and they bang on random things. So they're still there.
Yeah. So I mean, it was cool. I
saw Piff the Magic.
What?
I saw Piff the Magic Dragon 2 years ago, or last year.
Piff was great. He's funny.
Yeah. He was good. I saw him up close, hang out at the table. Everything was cool.
He's not just funny, but his magic is cool too.
Yeah.
Really, really talented guy. I liked him a lot. So, just to recap real quick, this was in my opinion. I like Puddles. Robot Kid was meh. Ventrilo's Girl was good. I wasn't blown away, but that's because I've seen it a lot. Fake Trump was funny. The Asian magician, Will Tsai, blew me away. I can't stop thinking about it. The brother sister salsa duo, cool dancing, music was weird, cringy. Preacher comedian, good. The lounge singer was a good. Eventually, after they told her to restart again. Piano chicken,
right?
I guess good. Okay.
Piano chicken.
I mean, it's cool.
And we both agree that. And we both agree that Tyra Banks could possibly ruin AEGT if they don't get rid of her soon.
Yeah. Tyra Banks is horrible. She's horrible. Every time the camera panned to her, I wanted to fast forward. I didn't like a second she was on screen. I didn't want anything to do with it. Heidi was a little over top last night. She came out swinging with that whole nice gal routine, and she's trying to change that image, so you can tell she was trying to change that image. I don't know how long that lasts. Hopefully she gets more comfortable as the season goes. And Mel B was over dramatic, I guess as usual, but
she seemed pretty normal to me. I will say that we got the normal standard look at Simon Cowell's kid every year, every episode or so again. He comes in.
Yeah.
But I will say I'm looking forward to this season.
I am too.
I know there were some bad things about it, and I'm really looking.
Just because I'm talking trash, guys, doesn't mean I'm not going to watch every episode live. So
no, and we're going to talk about it right here.
Yeah.
So stay with us all summer, right? Where can they message us?
You can get us at facebook.com/mixtees, twitter.com/mixtees, mixtees.com/popcast, of course youtube.com/mixtees. Subscribe and comment below. And we'll see you guys on Friday for the Wonder Woman spoiler review.
Wonder Woman.
Woo!
Come on.
Okay, guys.
Catch you next time, guys.
Later.